Peace, bro. How you doing? This is your brother Mikey Fever, NYP podcast. Hope all is well with everyone out there. Tonight we have the flagship, the Ancient Free Moors Rite, part two with these brothers. Some great brothers. You're about to learn about the organization, the fraternity, and they will answer some good questions. So I'd like to welcome my brothers. Peace.
Peace.
Peace,
It's
brother.
home.
And
Peace.
just for the guests, for the sake of them to get familiar, can you guys pardon me, can the brothers and sisters, forgive me for saying that early. I didn't want to miss out the sister. I apologize. Can you all introduce yourselves?
Sure. I'll start if it's all right with you, sir. I am Ali Milday. I am the Supreme Grand Commander of the Ancient Free Moors Rite. Um, Good to be here, and thank you for inviting us.
Peace. Anyone else?
Peace, brethren. Uh, I am Brother Gale. I am actual currently assisting as the Al Kahin Day of the flagship Ancient Free Moors Rite. Peace, brethren.
Peace.
Peace, Brother Mikey. Peace, brethren. Peace to the audience. I am Antonio Sanchez, currently serving as the Al-Said Day, and I am honored to be here on this show. Peace. Peace to everyone.
Peace. To our sister.
Peace and solemn greeting. I'm Sister Audrey V of the Order of Moorish Star, and I'm honored to be here. Peace.
Peace. Who else? I know we have Brother Smith.
Peace, Brother Smith. I'm a member of the Ancient Free Moors Rite, and it is an honor to be here. Peace, Brother Mikey Fever.
Peace. And to the top. I'm sorry, guys. Like, I know they probably like there's a lot of people. Trust me, when these brothers sail, they come correct, and sisters, they come deep. That's what I got to say.
My name is Brother Abdullah. I'm also a member of Ancient Free Moors Rite. Serve as the secretary at our flagship lodge in New York, in Brooklyn, New York. Thank you for having us here, Brother Mikey. Peace to
All
you.
love. Peace. And anyone else we missing?
Peace, Brother Maki. This is Brother Louis Gross. I am a member of the Ancient Free Moors Rite. It's an honor and happy to be here. Thank you. Thank you for the invitation.
That's peace. And who else? I believe we have Aket. Is he on? Is Brother Aket on, or I think his connection may have dropped. All right. So without further ado, Brother Elday, can you give us a introduction of Ancient Free Moors Rite?
Sure. Yes, sir. Dr. Clifford E. Hazel, who I'm comfortable with assuming that a lot of people have heard of him or know something about him, and that you might have some knowledge about him. But to give you a backdrop, he was a bishop. He was a spiritualist, amongst other things, and of course also a Freemason. He had a long time career as an activist in the civil rights movement. He and his wife, Sister Bessie Hazel Bay. So he was someone with a lot of experience and involvement with what we would call in the old days the struggle. But he was a prominent Freemason. He was a most puissant sovereign grand commander of the Scottish Rite. And when we talk about the Ancient Free Moors Rite, we begin with Dr. Hazel Bay. Now, the origin, he had the vision for a long time. He had also been a long time an esteemed member of the Moorish Science Temple.
Mm.
He had the vision of reconstructing, if you will, or re-emerging the Ancient Freemorse Rite based on a lot of his research, which was focused on Moorish history. And some of you may know that he insisted, as he spelled out in his introduction to the book Astrotheology, that Freemasonry is a human phenomenon having its anchor and foundation in Moorish culture, not European culture. And with this kind of research and commitment, which he had for about maybe over 20 years by the time that I met him, and I met him in the stream of Scottish Rite Freemasonry. And this is when he would intimate to some of us what he planned to do in resurrecting the Ancient Freemorse Rite. And to a lot of us, we were not aware that a rite, a Masonic rite for Moors had even existed. So let's just say, brother Mikey, it is, right, sir? Mikey?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Let's just say our constituency, we had the makeup of a bright light bulb, and Dr. Hazel powered it. So when he resurrected the Ancient Freemorse Rite, along with that also came other research evidencing that the Moors did have a prominent place once in Freemasonry. But like so many other things concerning indigenous people, when the powers of the world shifted, there were certain things that were buried, hidden, or obscured. The Ancient Freemorse Rite was one of those things.
Wow. 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 That was beautiful, man. That's deep right there.
Yes.
Had idea based on my research. I have some knowledge of C. Hazel Bay, Dr. C. Hazel Bay. I've seen a video of his like 15 years ago when he was giving some people some advice on resolving spiritual matters. When he was talking about going to court, certain things he would do, where he say he would put coins and stuff in a jar and throw it against a current of water. But after watching that video, I wanted to do some more research on him. I couldn't find as much, but I was like curious to know more about this Ancient Free Moors Rite. So through my research, that led me online on Facebook when I connected with Brother Arquette, and I believe it was Alim Bey who also highlighted C. Hazel's contribution to the Ancient Free Moors Rite. Because before my journey into the brotherhood, I always felt there was a connection amongst Moors and Masons. I know some Moors out there are gonna be like, "Yo, off with his head! How dare him say such things?" But I always trust me. I always see like aesthetically, like there's a connection there, but we are not doing the research to find out. So I appreciate you for really giving us some insight on that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. That occurs sometimes, brother. See, we were untutored in that history, deliberately untutored in that history. And so we generally would not know that, right? We would not know that. But Dr. Hazel had been in so many places as a spiritualist and also as a bishop in the church, and of course as a Freemason, and a healer, and um, of the like. So he had a lot, he compiled so much information before he even began to um, go through the methods and motions of resurrecting the Ancient Free Moors Rite. He wanted to have the right people on board to do that. And when he felt he had the right people on board, and he did that in 2001. But I'm glad that you saw some of his, a few videos here and there.
Yeah.
A lot of people, sometimes they would even mock some of the stuff that he was into, and of course didn't take it seriously. They just felt that it was just maybe a comical spectacle, but it was something also that he had devoted a lot of his life to.
Yeah.
And the science that he taught is very authentic.
Of course. I could see. I could sense that. Before we go into the questions, are there any books out there we could find out on Hazel Bay that go, say somebody want to go out there and do some research? Any books will point you towards his history?
As far as I know, Brother Mikey, there are no books. I'm currently, and I've been working on a biography
Okay.
for a lot of years now, but I don't know personally of any book that has been written on him. But I know that there's a lot of information, about him, scattered, if you will, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But the book is forthcoming, and now that you asked the question, man, you put more pressure on me to get it done.
I know.
Um,
I get a copy first. I listen for the world to listen. I'll be the first purchaser of that book. So let me know when
yes,
it's released.
yes, sir, brother. I appreciate that. I'll hold you to that.
Definitely, I'll be there. So
Mhm.
I have. Go ahead. Somebody was saying something. Oh, so, was somebody saying something? Oh no. All right. So being. Oh, peace, sister. How you doing? Who's that? All right, Amelia Powell. Peace, sister. All right. So being that answered the first question, so I'm gonna ask this question: what are the foundational principles of the Ancient Free Moors Rite? Anybody can answer.
Yeah, anybody could. Um,
Sir, peace. Peace, Brother Mikey. This brother
Oh,
Aket, and my
peace.
apologies. I just had some technical difficulties, but
No, you good, brother.
the Ancient Free Moorish Rite is a fraternal order,
Hmm.
but some of our foundation principles are directly spiritually centered. So we are spiritually centered brothers. We're all, on an individual journey, but working towards a common goal. Um,
Mm,
all the brothers and sisters that you see here, we're all socially prudent. We all
yes.
try to strive to be uphold members of society. Do our duties, be good citizens. Every one of us here, we're all economically driven. We are all looking towards our economic freedom, trying to connect economically. Uh, every one of us are industrially productive. We do
Mm,
that as a unit, and our organization. If everybody could just please mute your mic, please. If you're not speaking, please mute your mic. Um, and as I said, this is a divine order. So the principles that we share are similar, to traditional Freemasonry: brotherly love, equality, morality, harmony, and for us, most importantly, is our mutual spirituality. Because one thing in the Ancient Free Moors Rite that you're going to find is that we are spiritually centered. Each one of us are on a journey, and I know for me personally, and for us collectively, we found a common thread of that spiritual journey in the Ancient Free Moors Rite in the teachings of Dr. Hazel.
that's dope. That's dope. I respect that. Anyone else care to add on to that or? Okay. All right. So next question I have, my brother, is and sisters, how does the ancient free Moorish rite differ from other Masonic rites? I know he expounded on that on the intro, but I would like to know, how does it differ from other Masonic rites?
Peace. This is
Peace,
Brother Luis.
Peace,
peace,
Brother
Louis.
Luis.
So the ancient free Moorish rite is different from the two most important aspects. We are nautical character. We possess our own rituals, constitutions, and
Mm,
bylaws. And also we have our legend.
okay,
Those are the two main uh, aspects of how we differ from other Masonic organizations.
all right, that's peace right there. So when you say nautical, some people like to know, like, what can you expound? What do you mean by nautical? For the viewers
When
and
we
listeners.
when we mention nautical, we mention that our ancestors' heritage of navigations,
Yes.
and we also builders
Hmm.
because we build the ship. We build the ship uh, uh, as it as a character,
Yeah,
and yes, sir. Um, so we say nautical because that's how we identify ourselves, and that's how the main difference of our organization.
that's peace. I respect that. Okay. So, who were some notable figures associated with the ancient free Moorish rite?
The brethren,
Peace. This is Bro Sanchez.
peace.
That's
Uh, Peace, Bro Mikey. Peace to the audience. And some of the notable figures that are within Ancient Freemorse Rite, I will start with my Supreme Rank Commander, of course, with due respect. Our patriarch, Angelo Soliman, he was considered the first the first Moor within the ranks of Freemasonry, and he's the patriarch of Ancient Free Moors Rite, and of course the illustrious Dr. Clifford Hazel Bay, which was the brother behind the vision, the brother that was in charge of the resurrection of the rite.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, along the history, there are a couple of more figures that you could find through history, but due to it's part of my degree work, you will understand that I cannot go into that. But that will be my piece, brother.
That's dope. That's dope. Is someone saying something? Was anyone saying anything? All right. Before we go into that, for those who don't know, can anyone elaborate on Angelo Suleiman?
Mhm. Mm.
Can anyone
Yes, sir.
elaborate?
Peace, brother Mikey. I'll take that turn, brother Arquette. So, when you talk about notable figures, that is one of the top notable figures. And Angelo Solomon, just so that everyone understands, is the patriarch of the Ancient Free Moors Rite. So he is the one that we look to. And in terms of Angelo Solomon, now this is some more research, some more information that is forthcoming that you will see coming out of the right dealing with our patriarch and his life and his story, because it is one that especially now, needs to be retold and needs to sort of connect the ponds and let people on this side of the Atlantic know that there have been notable figures that have went through hardships, and Angelo Solomon is one. And he, raised in the ranks of Freemasonry, and I don't have time to go through his whole story, but
Mm-hmm.
one thing that is important and notable for us, your viewers, and the world to know. And this is not something that the Ancient Free Moors Rite did or the Ancient Free Moors Rite put on him. This is something that he was known to in his time. You know, he was known as the father of pure Masonic thought.
Mhm.
And in dealing with Angelo Solomon, you know, he was a prominent Freemason in Vienna, Austria. And if you want to deal in notable figures or people that are associated with the Ancient Free Moors Rite and with Angelo Solomon, you know, one we can point to, and it is very, very famous in history, is Mozart. You know, it's a fraternal connection, and as I said, there is more to come on that connection and much more. But that is a very notable figure, and I would be remiss without mentioning the illustrious Dr. Clifford E. Hazel Bay and his complement, Sister Bessie Hazel, who is our avatar and the person responsible for the reemergence of the Ancient Free Moors Rite in this time dispensation.
That's peace. That's dope, man. People need to do their research. I read up on Angelo Solomon. I was like, very profound story. Like you said, don't have enough time. You know, trust me. You know, not no slant or disrespect to anyone's religion, but if you follow the principles or the story of Christ, if you read what that brother went through, you get it.
Mm.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying?
mm.
Sorry.
I want to ask. I'm not, number 5. I don't want to. If it's what rituals and ceremonies are practiced within the ancient Free Moors Rite?
Peace. Peace. This is Brother
Peace,
Abdullah. Peace,
peace,
Brother Mike.
Abdullah.
Yeah, thank you for the question. Following up also with what my brother Luis mentioned earlier, within the Ancient Free Moors Rite, we do have our own monitor, our own Freemasonic monitor, and our own ritual. The name of our monitor is called On Northward Sail. And within our monitor, we have our own ritual, as I mentioned. And when we meet in lodge, we have our own fraternal ceremonies and rituals that we practice that are germane to our divine order, our Freemasonic order. Peace.
Peace. That's dope. Enough respect. Um, Question number 6. How
Greeting.
does it? Oh, peace.
If I may advance in another
Definitely.
statement, um,
Yes.
it is true. The FMR has their ritual, and the Order of Moorish Star has theirs as well.
Oh,
That is the sacred sail.
Yes.
Thank you.
And I apologize. You see, oh man, see, sister, you leave. I apologize. I didn't, for those. If you could elaborate on the OMS for the guests, can you give them a description?
Yes, sir. The Order of Moorish Star is the woman's component of the Ancient Free Moors Rite. And the OMS is the complement of the Ancient Free Moors Rite. We are a sisterhood, as the AFMR is a brotherhood. And that's it. Thank you.
Pleasure. Thank you. Thank you for telling us. A question I like to ask is, how does the ancient Free Moors Rite incorporate Moorish influences?
Mm.
You know,
Well,
people see
yeah,
the fez and go ahead.
I'll go with that one. Yes, sir. And you were
Go
right
ahead.
there, brother. You can see from our attire that we don the fez and the jalabia, and also the sashes. So in our attire, the Moorish influence is it's there, it's ready made. And also in our literature, our Masonic agenda, if you will, right? And that's a way that some of the older Freemasonic scholars would differentiate between rites. They would say the agenda, a Scottish or a German agenda. Our Freemasonry is set to a Moorish agenda.
Yes.
And so that becomes evident in our teaching and our instruction, as well as Brother Lewis spelled out, that, that's our nautical character predicated on the ancient Moors
Got
and the
you.
nautical history and the nautical societies and civilizations, also, uh, in foundation of the ancient Moors from America through Africa and through Europe and circling back the globe, being the first to sail the globe.
Yes.
You're looking at
Definitely.
those. Yes, sir.
Well, I think definitely that's it's like it's a lot of history within itself, within the
Indeed.
organization itself that ties you back. Um. All right. So we say, what significance do symbols hold within the ancient free Moorish rite?
Mm,
As you already explained earlier, but the significance of the symbols being that is different from what we call mainstream masonry.
mm. Yes, sir.
I like that
Well,
you put that on there with mainstream Freemasonry. And I appreciate that you wanted us to delineate the differences. And it's going to go back to our nautical character.
Hmm.
You may see behind Brother Gale, you may see a ship
Yeah.
entered within the square and compasses.
Mm.
We're generally familiar with the square and compasses as a Freemasonic symbol, but now you see within that a ship uh, that's in there. So that's a great start with our symbolism, and it goes on from there. Brother Arquette?
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Just to um, further that question and further another statement, it's paramount. It's part and parcel of what we do. As Freemasons, we understand that symbols communicate. They communicate a message, and they not only communicate a message to what we call our conscious mind, but for brothers that know, symbols communicate a message to the unconscious, the subconscious mind. And
Mm.
there are certain symbols that have a way of quickening us to action.
Hmm.
That's
And for example, right, we're riding down the street. You see that stop sign. You see a stop sign out of place. Even if you don't got to stop, you're gonna hold up. Like, wait, why is the stop sign there? I
Mhm.
yeah.
might have to stop, right?
Hmm.
So, with the ancient free Moorish rite and our character being nautical, the symbolism of our rite, the symbolism of our character is what spurs us to a specific action. And I know with more time, we'll get more into this and get more into, our teachings. But, in essence, it is spurring us to not only explore, not only journey, not only figure out what this whole thing about life is, but the symbolism given to us in the ancient free Moorish rite affords us the opportunity to build the ship,
Hmm.
sail the ship,
Come on, brother.
but more importantly, what are we sailing and building for? We're sailing to successfully get to our destination. And when we get there, we're going to interface. We're going to exchange. There's going to be an exchange
Hmm.
similar to our forefathers. We are simply doing what our forefathers have done. That's why in the ancient free Moorish rite, with our nautical symbolism, you won't see us out here really fighting, really quarreling,
Hmm.
or having a problem because we're not here for that.
Come
We're
on.
here to sail, and sail we will. So symbolism, beloved, is paramount in Freemasonry, in life in general, but more
Definitely.
so for Freemasons, we understand the power of symbols. And with our character being nautical, that nautical symbolism you will see throughout the ancient Free Moorish Rite and in our character as well.
That's dope. That's peace right there. As you was expounding on that, everyone was speaking. As you said, I respect everyone's path. You know, they walk in life, because it's all about the betterment of humanity. I'm all for it. But as you were speaking, and as you know, as all you guys were speaking, that quote from C. Hazel came across my mind when he said,
Come on, brother.
"If you're not practicing,
Your own Freemasonry.
yeah, who's
Then
Freemason?"
who's free? Let's just say it, beloved, because that's the quote. You know, the quote by the illustrious Dr. Clifford E. Hazel Bay. And if you have a minute, you know, to hear just the L Day maybe speak a minute about it, beloved. But the quote goes, if you're not practicing your own Freemasonry, then whose Freemasonry are you practicing? Peace
Deep.
out there.
So peace.
Deep right there. So that's a perfect segue to this question. How does the Ancient Free Moors Rite impact its members spiritually and personal development?
Peace. If I may go back to the last question.
Yeah, go ahead, sis.
In the OMS, with concerning symbolism, and our character being nautical, the OMS main symbol, one of our main symbols, of course, our star, and the goblet, sacred relic, what is known as the goblet in the OMS, is nautical in the sense that it holds liquid.
Go ahead, sister.
And with the OMS star being 10 points, is associated with spiritual development and personal growth.
That's peace.
As well as other things, but not to disclose that here. Thank you.
Nah, I like she punches in, drops it, and is like, I'm out.
Peace.
So yeah. How does the Ancient Free Moors Rite impact its members' spiritual and personal development outside of symbolism? Like,
Peace.
Peace. I'll chime in on that a little bit, Brother Smithfield.
Yes,
So
sir.
I would just like to say, as for myself, how it impacts me spiritually is because we're all diverse. And we have so many different facets of brothers here, not just one in particular, one group, one religion, one nothing. We're multifaceted. So it impacts me spiritually because now I get to understand your walk, her walk, his walk, and all it does is it enhances and it broadens my perspective on everything. So that me, it inspects me. It impacts me because spiritually it broadens my horizons to realize that all the walks of life are pretty much about the same. So it's when we say it's in his name, it's in his names, because there is many names that he's called by, so that helps broaden my perspective of things. Peace.
Peace.
Well said, brother.
Peace. All right. What is the organizational structure of the Ancient Free Moors Rite?
Anybody? Well, okay, and you could always just chime in or just add on. But we start, brother. We start with the flagship.
Okay.
Start with the flagship. It's the governing body of the Ancient Free Moors Rite, and just like a flagship in nautical terms, the flagship, what does it do? It hoists the flags, and the flags communicate to the fleet which way we're going, where we're sailing, we're stopping, we're taking lunch, we're taking a break, whatever it might be, and now we're going to continue. The communication is with flags, right? Because, you're not right on top of each other and nobody wants to go screaming across, the ocean. So we hoist flags and that communicates to the fleet. So the Ancient Free Moors Rite, the flagship is the governing body. The flagship calls the shots, controls the voyage. I think brother Cat, you were there, brother?
Oh no, Brother Gale. That was Brother Gale.
Oh, that's Brother Gale. Okay, yes, sir, Brother Gale. Indeed.
Peace.
Yes, peace, beloved. Well, I was just gonna, kind of like you took the words out of my mouth. We're gonna say kind of the same thing that you were saying, beloved. So can't add
Yes,
to
sir.
that. Peace.
Mm-hmm.
That's peace. All right. So I have this question right here. How does one become a member of the Ancient Free Moors Rite?
Mm.
That's my
No, if you
favorite
want,
question.
if you let me take on that one, then maybe I can.
Yeah, bro.
Well, kind of like taking it back to what Supreme Grand Commander was saying with the previous question. Everything starts with the flagship, but um, the good thing, or one of the greatest ideas that Dr. Hazel came um about when he thought about the Moorish, right, was that because of the times, he thought about this uh great venue that back in the days we were criticized about, which is the online process. So back in the days, let's say that was one of the only ways to become a Moorish, right? Because of the distance and the brothers being scattered. But now, beloved, we have the website, um, and of course, like Brother Alim said, through the flagship, or if you know another brother of the fraternity, then then you have access to it. Peace. I yield the floor.
Peace.
That was peace right there. All right. Dope. Dope.
Just go to www.asmr-morshrite.org.
All right. For those who, you see, it's out there, people. If you're looking for that, you do your research. And I see we have another guest. Who was it? On a panel, Miller Powell. I got a question. What is the significance of each degree within the rite? I know, you can't. If you guys want to,
Yeah.
yeah, let's. All right,
That's one of those, beloved. I would just say,
crow before you walk,
because,
people.
yeah, because
There you
we're
go.
in a public venue, we
Yeah.
we do keep certain, things, especially,
Mhm.
the depth of that. But I will say, beloved, for you and any of your members, any of your audience, when you become a member, you will definitely find out, beloved.
Definitely. I'm telling you, I can't. One day I'm
Brother
on.
Mikey, if I can respectfully add to that,
Yeah, go
beloved,
ahead.
Yes, sir.
and to keep it within the ground, and but also to give you some light on it, I will refer the audience to question number 2.
Okay.
What are the foundational principles of the ancient free Moorish, right?
Yes,
So, you're gonna find a lot of light within that question that you're asking right now.
that's
Peace.
beautiful right there. Now it's beautiful. I'm telling you. I told I kept that years. I'm like, I might take a walk through there,
Mm.
through those doors one day. um.
Yes, sir.
What are the central philosophical teachings? It goes
Mm.
back of the ancient free Moorish rite.
Mm. Yes, sir. Peace. This brother I can. I'm gonna take that one, brother, because that is that's one of those questions I feel that reaches to the core of a person, so I want to share, just a quick sentence on Moorish Rite Freemasonry and what it is. And this will hit on um, the central philosophical teachings. That's correct, right? That was the teaching, the central philosophical teachings.
Yes.
Well, in the Ancient Free Moors Rite, we're a rite that has a universal vision that is focusing on a view of history, encompassing science, culture, and spirituality. We do this without encroaching on an individual's religious beliefs. Now, this viewpoint is further enhanced by a cultural focus on the history and related sciences of the Moors of antiquity.
Deep.
So, we are a benevolent institution. We offer we also civic activities that help facilitate charitable endeavors. And it basically helps us come together for common welfare for the community. And, with this question, the central philosophical teachings, I mentioned it briefly in the previous question, but I have to go back to, because when you talk about the central philosophy of the Ancient Free Moors Rite, we have to go back in history and go back to our patriarch. And so what I can, say for the public, and, like anything, you would have to dig deeper. But our central philosophical teaching is dealing in pure Masonic thought.
Here we go.
That's it.
That being a branch of Freemasonry that maybe has been, as was said earlier, obscured, covered up, hidden. But as we were talking about, Brother Mikey, the sun will shine again.
That's it.
Come on, brother.
I'm telling you, man, if people just got rid of all that conspiracy talk,
Mm.
and again, not seeking converts from my organization or their organizations, and you open up your mind, as they say, they took you away from your history and demonized it. It made you neglect it. So I don't know what to tell those people out there. Okay, I got this right here. What are the moral and ethical lessons? What ethical lessons are emphasized in the teaching of the Ancient Free Moors Rite? But that was part of what you said. But
Peace.
peace.
This is Brother Louis.
Hey, brother Lewis.
Peace, Brother Mackie. Thank you for the question. And I would say that the lessons that we emphasize in the rite are first and foremost pure Masonic thoughts
Mm-hmm.
that including morality, righteousness, upright behavior, just to um, just give you the best at this moment. Brotherly love,
Mm-hmm.
all is contained within the walls of the pure Masonic thoughts.
That's it. That's deep. That's deep, man.
Please, thank you.
And I see you all every one of you on this panel are exhibiting those characteristics because how you answer the questions, you guys are all like, beacons of light. I could see it. So see, this is a beautiful thing that really, it works on people. It works on the mind to construct a better being to navigate. So that's beautiful. And peace to you all.
Well, Brother Mikey, I just want to share, on your words, and especially to your audience and the public at large.
Yeah.
I can say for my 12 years of being in the Ancient Free Moors Rite, we have some just good, and I say this all the time, good people,
Mm-hmm.
just good people in all around, people that are honest, people that want to do right and want to find people who want to do right. And you know what, Brother Mikey, this in the world today, there's so much happening, so
Of
much
course.
scamming, so much, ego, so much trying to be big man on, campus. And, really you won't find that in the Ancient Free Moors, right? And going back to your question about character, right? Look at our symbolism. Look how vast the sea is. Now, guess what? If we dealing with the sea, everybody got enough space.
Yes.
Right? Everybody got enough space to set their vessels, right? To explore, to branch out, to be who they're going to be, right? Exhibit what God gave you to be in this world. So it's a place that allows that, and we don't, I'm not jumping on and trying to overdo another brother or trying to shine brighter than another brother. That's not how we do. So just wanted to acknowledge that.
Nah, that's peace. I respect that. I respect that very much because it's so true. Like it's the removal of the ego, and then that's something that every human being will have to face to destroy, to humble yourself. And people think humbling yourself means you must cower out. No, it just really means, like as you mentioned, the sea is vast, is large. I can't be a drop in the sea and think I'm like the whole. No, I gotta think there's something out there bigger than me, and I gotta treat others, the way I want to be treated and such. So with that said, any of your sisters want to add on to that?
Well, just like the AFMR makes good men better, the OMS makes good women better through upright behavior and discipline.
That's peace. And the last question I have: what legacy does the Ancient Free Moors Rite aim to leave for the generations to come?
Ah, man, that's well, I want to start here, and I appreciate that we've come to this last question. Not to rush through anything, but
Yes.
it always means that we've gotten this far, right? It's a journey, and I want to take a look at something, right? And this is like my prelude to this question, brothers, sisters, and of course, if you could advance opinions, that would be all right. Most of us, and I'm going to show you Dr. Hazel's place in this big picture, right? Most of us, when we think about Freemasonry, we picture ancient stone builders, right? Dressed in medieval garb, constructing, domic churches or castles, right? In an old rural English landscape. Right? And that's all right. But think about this. But as it turns out, our imaginations are outdated. See, these days, Freemasonry, as we understand it, right? It's less of like a handicraft, craft, but more of a science, right?
Yep.
And think about it, because as new technology and new thinking has enabled us to be more productive, well, it has enabled Freemasonry to evolve more accordingly.
That's right.
Ancient Freemorse Rite, under the vision of Dr. Clifford E. Hazel Bay, as Brother Arquette was talking about and Sister Audrey, the online process, Dr. Hazel wanted that because he said the internet is going to take over the world.
That's a fact.
And he wanted the Ancient Free Moors Rite to have an online presence. He was a stickler. I didn't understand it so much because the internet hadn't boomed and mushroomed like it has. But he says it's going to take over the world. It's going to take over the way everything happens, how we do everything. So now you see people getting college degrees online, right?
Yep.
Getting doctorates or whatever, all through an online process. It's all the same thing. So the Ancient Free Moors Rite is a part of the natural evolvement of Freemasonry. It had to evolve. It had to evolve. You can't, from now on, you can't look at Freemasonry and think of the old medieval stone builders. That's okay, and we respect it. However, Freemasonry has evolved. All of that is a little outdated, don't you think? So let's look at the times in which we live. The Ancient Free Moors Rite, right, is a part of that evolvement. But Brother Mikey, right, like so many other things, we know this, right?
Yep.
Sometimes when there's an evolvement and it's something new, and we say it's nothing new under the sun, it's only an updated version of what our ancestors already did.
Exactly.
So that's us, brother. That's us. So if anybody has anything else to, advance with that, that's fine. But I just wanted to make sure that we understood that. We understood Doc's vision and we look at it all, and this is the evolvement of Freemasonry. I'm not going to do it today, but I could mention books that Masonic writers, scholars have written where they If we don't have a new evolvement, we will cease to exist.
That's
2001, Dr. Hazel, here comes the Ancient Free Moors Rite. What happens? It's like Freemasonry all over, gets an infusion. It gets an infusion, and then now it, boom, it mushrooms, it blossoms again in a new generation under new technology, new equipment, right? Because at first, when we went online, Freemasons were saying, oh, that's blasphemy. That's not the way Freemasonry works. Now all of them are up online.
yeah, I have seen it.
That's right. Yes,
I
sir.
have seen it. Trust me. Now I
Great,
respect that.
great question, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. And Elday, if I could just advance on that as well. And Brother Mikey, I know we're coming to the end and just thanking you and your platform for having us on. I would just say a legacy and one thing that you see in front of you today, and it's an important point of the Ancient Free Moors Rite, and one that must be stressed for the public, is that we are about diversity.
Bingo. I see it.
Now, and maybe this is something we'll go to on another call, another interview, but we're Moors representing and showing the diversity. And by extension, by default, we are bringing and we are, really not redefining, but we are retelling and bringing more of the definition of what that word more means. It's not just a phenotype, So we and the Ancient Free Moors Rite are proud. We are, I would say, enthusiastic and overjoyed when we have new sailors from other cultures, other religions, other countries, people in different environments than us, and connecting and more importantly, and this is it, Brother Mikey, they can see themselves here. They can see themselves here. And if we are claiming, right, to be reflections of the Creator, you got to be able to see yourself in that brother. See yourself in you, Brother Mikey. That's why we got this connection, because you could see yourself. You could see the version. Now, beloved, imagine if we all did this. That this was our default stance of view of this is another aspect of myself. And we call ourselves collectively God the Creator.
World be a better place.
And passion to life. And this is one thing, Brother Mikey, and I'll end on this and turn it to our sisters and brothers. This is one thing that fuels me each and every day, because it's almost like an energy. And it fuels you and it keeps you going when the times are hard.
Of course.
Right?
Oh,
we
man.
like to see, right? We're getting back to our symbolism again.
Yep.
We can't predict the sea. But one thing you're gonna know coming here, and for your audience to know, you're gonna know how to navigate it.
Come on, brother.
That's
Tell
what
them.
missing.
Peace. Ebbs and flows, baby. That's how life is. They don't know. That's beautiful, bro.
Brother Mikey, if I can add a little bit to that, beloved, with all due respect, just thinking about the legacy of that the Moorish Rite is aiming to leave behind us, because we always talk about not only the path that we are paving for our own growth, but we also think about those who are coming behind us, that legacy, and that would turn me back to your question, beloved, when you were asking about those notable figures.
Yes.
And we are forgetting or bypassing maybe the most important figure right now, which is that brother interested in the Moorish Rite, that brother that made it to the Moorish Rite, and with that, that's the legacy, and with us being part of that legacy, then we are contributing to the perpetuity of Dr. Hazel's legacy and memory. So I would say that the legacy that the Moorish Rite is aiming to leave behind us, it's uh men of good character with uh goodwill
Mm.
towards doing good, um towards our people, not only Moors, because that's another thing that the Moorish Rite uh came to play an important role in society today. When we talk about the redefinition of the word Moor, and we were talking about diversity, and we are used that when we talk about the Moors, we only think about Africa, the dark skinned brother, but when we take a further dive into the word, into what it really means, we understand that makes us part, all of us part of this Moorish paradigm.
That's right.
Of course.
So, beloved, with that, I yield the floor, and I thank you, your audience, for allowing us to be here and for the invitation.
Yes.
And brethren, it's always an honor to stay with you. I yield the floor. Peace, brethren.
Peace, man.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
We thank you, Brother Mikey, for allowing us to be here on the
Definitely.
platform. And thank
Definitely.
you for the great questions.
You're welcome. And
We also like to elaborate that we, being Moorish, is all about mind color,
Mm.
nothing else. And we are a spiritual organization uplifting humanity to their highest potential,
Mm.
to their highest state of being.
Peace.
Thank
peace.
you. Thank you, sir.
No, you're welcome. And the platform is open to you whenever you want to get on the show, and deliver a message, because what NYP is about. We are an open forum. We welcome everyone to come on and chime in, and to address the ills of society. For those who came from a long walk of life to become better human beings. So that's what we're about, and we're very thankful to have you all come on the show. It's been, brother Aket and I have been going back and forth, and I was always interested to learn about the Moorish, Ancient Free Moors Rite, and I'm thankful to meet you and the rest of the brothers. And you all were great, man. Honestly, and sisters.
Brother, I was going to ask you, besides thanking you for your great questions, what, if you don't mind, you could be very succinct with this. What motivated you to put this podcast together? Especially in New York.
Oh, well, brother Ron, like we initially started out with a nonprofit
Mhm.
organization,
Yes, sir.
um, called PAR, where we had a few brothers on board. We fed about 2,000 families during the COVID.
Go ahead, brother.
And, the less fortunate, and we were just about just bringing upliftment and light. We look at our situation and we like, what can we do to make the world a better place? It sounds very cliche, but we was like, there's so much chaos going on,
Very real.
and it's just we just got tired of it. And we like, maybe if we just do something positive should work. And we like, we need to cross over and then make the message, to broadcast the message to the people, and hopefully
Mm.
we could bring everyone together. And we could, find a solution to our own problems. Because not to jump in this political arena, but I say, as JFK said, maybe if we could do for self,
Come on, brother.
and
Mm.
Elijah Muhammad,
Yes, sir.
we could, we could do for the people, but also like really work on ourselves. And
Mm.
we had to learn, shatter your ego. Shatter your ego.
That's right.
Do some introspect. Do some inner reflection on yourself. Look at see where your ills are at, and maybe if we change our perspective, we could change the environment.
Mm. Wow.
So that's what it's about. And and come in and learn, because what we see today is not what it is in this world. So I think we really had to go back. Though we had to further and advance with technology and stuff, we got to go back to these old principles and see where we
That's
left
right.
off at.
Come on, brother.
Yeah. So this is where we at right now.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
But I appreciate you all for coming on,
Sir.
and to the listeners and viewers. Tonight was the Ancient Free Moors Rite. Look them up, do your research, put aside reservations, and really study and see what these brothers are about. And if you want to, I know on the site they have a story of Angelo Solomon. You read that, then you understand what the principles of this organization is about. Don't forget to comment, share, like, and subscribe. And I thank you, brothers and sisters, for coming on.
Thank
You
you.
know,
Peace.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Peace.
Brother
Peace.
Mikey.
Mikey.
Thank you.
Peace.
NYP
Peace.
Talk.
Peace and
Peace.
love, man.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.